And let's see how Chris Luck is able to do too. They decide to put this tiny mid. So he's going to be all about making that space early on. We've seen this so many times this tournament. Not been the most successful for most teams, but South America, something just seems to click with them with this hero.
Sure, I mean, how would you imagine it's going to do in the lane in the matchup that we've sort of ended up having Chris in?
It looks like a pretty good matchup for Laurel, I'd imagine, but he also still does have potential as Chris Luck or for C-Smile, we should say, of course, as he is trying to make that name work. He does have potential for rotations early. The Tusk, the Grimstroke with the Tiny. Last Strike's pretty squishy early, so a good Avalanche Toss combo with a +1. They can definitely kill Laurel. I'd imagine Laurel pulls ahead in the laning phase, though, a bit.
30 seconds to battle.
And yeah, I can't believe they got a Pugna that late. That's kind of the one that's standing out to me. A third pick Pugna. Somehow this hero has been picked almost every single game at this tournament and still carries, well, like a 60-something% win rate, I believe. I can actually check it soon, but...
I see here, Gojira, also known as Schofield, hunting around BetBoom.
He's going to
punish him for being over in this area.
He's going to be one to watch for sure for rotations, how much he's going to be able to pressure. But it's not an easy lane. So we mentioned the Beastmaster last pick. The problem with this is it does put a double strength lane into an Undying as well. So too, besides the other things that we mentioned for the Undying, the benefits that they have for him, he now has an amazing lane.
Yeah, Snakeo's going to be super happy up here. Of course, he's already prepared. He's got the mangoes. He's ready to sit up here and just spam the decays and make sure that Beast Coast do not have a fun time.
I was wondering if he was going to maybe get boots early on, because I think you imagine already when you're playing as Snako in this lane, they're going to cut creeps. This Tusk and this Beastmaster are going to have to cut the creep wave with Boots Tusk to equalize it so you don't just get double decayed constantly.
And of course, having to hack again on the Prophet, something that we've seen countless times, you know, in their runs so far from BetBoom, and it really feels like, you know, it's always going to be picked early by them, and they really don't care what gets drafted against them, right? They don't care about trying to use the versatility that this hero can provide. Dahak, whatever happens, he always wants to be the one playing it.
He's the best Nature's Prophet for a reason. He knows his matchups, he knows how to play around counter matchups too, and yeah, let's watch these creep shenanigans tops, as we were saying, both of them trying to catch the wave. Kind of funny the way it looks like.
Of course, on the bottom side of the map, K1, how do you think he's going to do in the lane? Against a CK and a Pugna, is he going to feel pretty vulnerable against these two?
It's a really strong lane that you actually see more in the safe lane than you do in the off lane. Because the harassment that comes out from Pugna is pretty significant with Reality Rift, with the minus armor. Just the right clicks is strong. But I think Stinger should be able to offset it decently with the strokes. Gonna have to use a lot more regen on the side of Beast Coast, naturally, because they don't have, you know, they don't have CK, the Chaos Strike.
Yeah. And CK down here, you know, for Notice, he should be able to pretty much free farm, right? There's not going to be any contest of the CS.
Yeah, I could only see the Pugna perhaps dying if very out of position, but I don't think that should happen either, because looking at this beautiful move speed of this Spooky Skeleton, 330, look at the Spectre and the Grim, 290. Like, even with boots, they're kind of the same speed as the Pugna.
They're not going to be able to chase Force Major anytime soon in the lane. See top, again, continuously, as you say, Gojira or Schofield pulling these creeps all the way away, but Snakeo's trying his best to keep the pull going.
Chris Luck doing excellent in mid lane, by the way. 12-3 right now.
Of course, all these moves that Beast Coast are having to make to play around with the creeps does mean that there'll be a lot of space for Dahak to clean up his farm underneath the tower.
Yeah, he should get pretty solid free farm, but Whisper's gotten 10 last hits already up here, so already a good job done from Gojira to be able to manipulate these creeps, and they even get a side pull off onto the hard camp. Good stuff already from the side of Beast Coast early on. Bottom, aggression, K1. So much damage.
Ooh, that last right click, it's not gonna do it. He's into the trees, he'll live this one. Stinger in turn will take a lot of damage from Force Major as well, but we're really seeing the potential of these two down here. Force Major and Noticed is really hitting hard into Beast Coast safe lane duo. It's not going to be fun for K1 and Stinger down here.
No, this is, like I was saying, this is one of the stronger safe lanes that I've seen at this tournament so far, the Pugna CK, and they have it in the off lane. So they're going to put tremendous amount of pressure onto K1.
How are they doing on the regen on Beast Coast? Yeah, K1, he's not got anything left on him. Stinger's probably going to TP out, at least walk back with some extra bits to buff K1 up, but
and look how
gotta be careful.
Look how they're controlling the lane,
look
too.
What he's queued up. He is queuing up the Radiant Spill, Fogged.
Okay.
You said it was going to be a bit of a risk trying to find the space to do it, but he trusts in the rest of his team, K1. He trusts in the other four of Beast Coast to make the plays happen and make sure that he's going to have that time to get that big item.
I will see if it ends up working out. I'm seeing bottom already really painful. They don't have a pull. And Noticed and Force Major are keeping the creep wave at their tower. So every time Whisper steps up, look at this damage. 2-3 hits.
K1, he could be in real trouble here. The blast and... Oh, it's going to take him down! Force Major on the Pugna being a complete nightmare for Beast Coast safe lane.
I love that he put the second point in Blast. He's a 4 position, so it's a little bit different than we've seen from the 5s. Going for an early Bassi, TK and Pugna. Bit mana starved from the spam. 10 last hits on Spectre, and they're still keeping the wave. Look, they still have the wave right here. So even when he comes back, he can't get farm.
I noticed it's going to be massive.
I think they might have to ask Gojira to come down. I think he has to maybe equalize this lane a little bit.
Definitely going to be a lot of pressure this game on, as I say, the rest of Beast Coast. C-Smile, Chris in particular in that mid. He's got to make some big moves with the Tiny. They're going to rely on him to be able to come in, burst through some of these heroes, which isn't going to be too easy. Some of them, of course, the offlane in particular, Notice, is going to end up being rather tanky against that burst.
The scary thing is, though, if you leave mid lane, look at the build Laurel has. 3 points in Edict, so it's like you have to play really careful about how you're going to make rotations on this Tiny. So right now, looks like they're going for the kill on mid instead.
See if they can get him. They get the good toss back here into the range of Gojira as he turns up. Lal, he's going to back up himself. Staneko's in as well as
double.
They're going to look to turn this one around. Lal, he's still alive. He's going to run down, take the kill. Look towards Gojira. They get both of them. As BetBoom turn up in style to protect their mid, Beast Coast losing both heroes.
They're going to, I mean, Laurel's very low HP, but they're considering to maybe pressure tower. This is what Dahak does on the Nature's Prophet. It's 5 minutes in, and they're already going to start hitting this.
I mean, this tower is going to take a huge amount of damage from this push. We'll have the fortification. We'll see if 2 of them will look to TP over and try and hold some sort of defense here. We will get Chris coming straight back to mid.
They glyphed pre-Edict. This tower is going to almost drop down
5 minutes
just from
in. This is some scary speed here from BetBoom's lineup, as here we have it.
It's
going down, 5 minutes. Tier 1 tower in the mid taken out. We'll see to the side. Beast Coast, they're going to try and get aggressive onto Dahak, but he's fine. He turns with the Sprout, holds back Stinger. Shards aren't going to catch anyone. So BetBoom, they'll take the tower. They'll back off. As you can see, this is the fastest tower we've had taken down in the whole major fog.
Look at mid. Chris Luck, though. He has a haste rune.
See what he can get. Wall's been dropped down. He'll come in with the combo. It's not enough to kill Lal.
The Nether Ward.
It's not enough damage at this stage of the game.
15% spell damage reduction. The Pugna Ward was down. That combo would have definitely killed Laurel if it wasn't for that.
With the moves and the focus mid, we do see that, top Whisper was able to clear out that top wave, take out the tower himself, so a bit of space that he was able to work with. Also, of course, down on the bottom side of the map, K1 starting to catch back up in CS.
Slowly, though. Noticed all the way at the top there, 39 and 13. Whisper also going for Vlads this time around. Haven't seen, of course, the rise of it in pretty much every single game, but even on Beastmasters, that's a bit curious, so see how it works for him.
What would you imagine the move is to be now here for BetBoom? They're taking that mid-tier 1. What's next on the checklist?
I don't think they want to get their stack stolen. So right now, first, Laurel's going to at least focus on that. But I think they can make moves pretty much anywhere they want because they always have Dahak who can TP in or just throw a Wrath of Nature. So I think the map is pretty open for them to make those moves, and Beast Coast have to be very prepared. It is an overwhelming amount of damage that will come out from BetBoom.
It's going to be tough to kill Lal as well once he has the hood.
And look at bottom. They might even go for K1 here. He showed his face.
Going to get with the stun.
Dahak's throwing the ult. K1 has to be careful.
Ooh, that's a big hit for the Nature's Wrath there.
He did not think about it.
2K lead already. 7 minutes in, 4-0. BetBoom.
They're moving bottom. This tower is going to die. Beast Coast is not prepared for this. Laurel's moving down, Dahak's ready to TP, Treant's up in 10.
We've had Whisper and Schofield smoke from the top, but they're a long way away. They're moving towards mid. Maybe they'll have a chance to
bottom.
Dahak, but underneath the tower, indeed, BetBoom, they clean up another. The Stinger, left alone, hiding behind his tier 1, won't live.
They might
can
get
take down Dahak in the mid lane. C-Smile with the start up, but there's TP's coming in. They're going to go for the snowball over. Do they
Nicho's already here.
The Tombstone's going to get dropped down. Beast Coast, they can't finish the kill. They've got to back off themselves now. As already to the side, Force Major, he was there ready, waiting for Gojira to head over.
BetBoom is on fire with these rotations early game.
They should be able to get him unless the uphill miss. Oh no, it's going to hit. It's going to hit. Another one for BetBoom.
Instant TPs every time. It seems like Staneko shows up and immediately your Beast Coast just has to full retreat. This Tombstone way too strong early. Same thing with the Soul Rip. 3K lead.
Yeah, they are crushing this early game here, BetBoom. That was definitely the the idea that this may have be what we will see happen when we had those first few picks come out from the BetBoom's draft.
He also switched the
Yeah,
build
he
now. I think he knows.
Right. This is speeding up. He's not going to get the time for a Radiance, at least not as his first item.
They're going to go for him again. They have another Nature's Prophet ult. The Hawks TPing in.
There's going to be anything to save him. He's going to get trapped. He will be able to break his way out with the Quelling Blade. But again, so much damage coming out to K1. He's going to have to back right off, probably have to take a walk to base.
I guess there was a lot of... They do have a lot of vision of creeps right now, right? We do have wards scouting out both jungles, so I guess the Wrath of Nature just bounced to every single creep instead of hitting the Spectre. But continued aggression, and Beast Coast, it's really difficult for them to really react, to be able to set up for this. It's all about Chris Luck. It's all about T-Smile being there for these rotations to try to counteract any type of gank, but he's been slowed down. His blink isn't going to be a bad timing. He's only 600 ways away, but as we're saying, BetBoom, they're just keep ramping up that pressure.
Their first few items coming out big. I mean, what Armlet's done on Notice.
He's like the carry. He's pretty much a carry from the off.
He is. That's the thing, and it's not like Dahak's not going to be able to offer quite a heavy hit as well. Two scary cores that BetBoom have ready to bring to any of these fights. Bottom area of the map really taken over completely by the presence of CK. It's a very scary area for Beast Coast to come in towards unless they bring like the full squad.
And now BetBoom, they're playing a little bit more relaxed about the farm game. We see the Nature's Prophet hitting Ancients. We see the CK taking over the jungle of Beast Coast a bit. And Beast Coast, they can't split up like that in this game. They can't farm Ancients at all with their heroes until later on. How do they get back in it? I mean, they're just waiting, it looks like, for the Tiny Blink in particular before they look to full fight out here.
Yeah, that's going to be the go time. Maybe then they can combo something up with Whisper and the Roar. Of course, Gajira with that extra bit of damage and control that he can offer as a Tusk. Perhaps then if they catch BetBoom split up or maybe Lal on his own, they might be able to take him down.
I think that's the key thing, right? Like split up, they have to catch them with a numbers advantage, it feels like on Beast Coast's Whisper.
Have to use this Roar to run away. We'll see Gojira try and get in onto Lal, but
oh my goodness.
It's going to be a dead Tusk at the end of this one for sure. He's not got enough to take down Lal. In fact, it's the two of them going down to Hack, just adding to his kills. The carry Prophet 3-0-2, he has his Shadow Blade complete. Everything going even better than going to Planet, feels like, for BetBoom. They are just dominating this opening.
Flawless execution. Whisper getting caught out, unable to actually run away, having to use defensive Roar and still dies. Now Chris Luck has Blink, so it's going to have to be an explosive one. He's going to have to just pair up, I think, with the two supports.
They've got to get a kill with this.
Yeah.
They've got to find something.
I mean, I think they need to get lots of kills. I think it just has to be like relentless aggression, which that is Beast Coast style. That is something that does suit them, but it's not going to be easier because some of these heroes are starting to get to like very tanky levels. If the Pugna ward is down, if Undying's there, they may not even be able to kill something like a CK who has almost, I think, 2,000 HP when his armlet's on.
Here we go. Here's the smoke from Beast Coast. Have to find someone with this. Give themselves a chance to try and break down this incredible lead that BetBoom's already managed to build up.
Look at Noticed. He knows. Like, look at the positioning from the CK. Completely hiding in the jungle, and also now top Whisper. He's got the Hawk coming out, but they saw him for a second.
BetBoom's making a move themselves. Whisper, he's not got any way out of this either. The TP, even if he was able to pop it, still on cooldown. There should be a very dead Beastmaster. Dahak, of course, turning up as well. He wants to get involved. As that'll be another one for BetBoom. 9-0. Beast Coast still yet able to get a kill.
That was brutal. They got the top tower also earlier from Whisper, right? But now they can't really even set up to push any of these other ones because of how fast BetBoom is moving around. And also look at Dahak with his micro, by the way. Look at mid. So Treants are pulling aggro of the creep wave to make sure it doesn't even hit the tower at all. So they're going to have full HP towers, so always going to be able to react to any aggressive move that Beast Coast sets up around the map. Map is already quite small, and it feels like it's going to continue to shrink for Beast Coast in the next few moments.
Got the vision here onto Notice, but it's such a tough hero to go for. He said how tanky he is and how close towards the tower as well. And even if he wasn't, as we're seeing, Dahak is just ready to turn up any time any sort of action is brought the way of one of his teammates.
Dahak's getting scary already too. He's got Shadow Blade just going for straight Silver Edge. The way to deal with the Spectre. One of the fastest Silver Edges we'll probably have at the tournament.
We'll see bottom Notice. He's going to get the setup onto Seasmar. There's the TP for Dahak with the Nature's Rash. Seasmar doesn't stand a chance. He's gone. Now let's see if they can chase down more. They've got the Sprout control on Stinger. BetBoom, they'll be able to claim another. Dahak picking up kill after kill. 11-0. This is such an explosive opening from BetBoom. They were as ready as ever here to turn up on this first game on the main stage. And they're just showing off Fogged here. This is incredible.
They're going to take a tier 2 baby here. Beast Coast is going to have to either fight down here or they're going to have to go for a trade with Whisper top. They're going to try to fight bottom. Let's see how that goes. The ward's already set down.
With the jump. Not a lot coming out from that one, and now they might be in trouble themselves. They'll turn towards Notice. They've got the horn. They're going to go for the CK here. They do surround him. They should be able to bring him down.
Okay.
Notice full. Beast Coast get themselves their first kill of the game. They will manage to hold the tower. BetBoom, they'll be pushed back.
Yeah, it was a big kill. Tombstone's still on cooldown. I think if BetBoom had that one, then they're probably looking to dive and even fight past it with the CK, but a much-needed grab from Beast Coast. And I think they got to keep going. I think even just smoke, look for another kill while CK's dead. Even though your Haunt's on cooldown, I don't think this is a game where you can slow down at all anyway, even if you have the Spectre.
Let's see what they plan at the moment. K1 showing in the mid.
They didn't have, yeah, they got the smoke coming up now. Took them a second.
Of course, Noticed will be back in the game. He'll TP over towards the mid lane. So good area to connect with any action the Beast Coast look for. See if we can get into the triangle of BetBoom. At the moment,
they know
two of them up here.
Look at this. He's ready to break that smoke on this Pugna.
Gajira's going for the wraparound. And we'll get in on top of the Pugna. There's the combo. It's going to be a very dead force major. Beast Coast starting to find these kills, breaking apart BetBoom.
Worth a decent amount too, since it was that killing spree. I think he was still kind of trying to tank the gank anyway, but it's a good, decent kill that Beast Coast needs. Any of these matter. Dahak, as we saw, 15 minutes was hit. Shard is purchased, so Roshan is on the menu very likely. I think they might just walk into the pit right now.
I think so. They know that they've still got quite the lead against Beast Coast at this stage of the game. So.
Yep. And you can't fight BetBoom. If they're set up with Tombstone, with Nether Ward, no way Beast Coast can fight. They have to try to catch and pull them out of range of these huge, what we like to call the circles in these team fights. Yeah, it's dead too fast. No way they can do it.
Now they will scan it and see if any of Beast Coast want to try to get in for a potential steal.
Will Schofield go for it is the question.
It's a hard one to get in on. See what they can do here. They're starting to tickle from the side. Gajira, he's going to be found though, straight over towards him. They take him down. He wasn't able to get in the pit in time. Lal picks up the Aegis. BetBoom continuing to build their strength up.
And it feels like Hector, K1, maybe feeling like his team is making the space. He's re-queued up the Radiance.
He wants that Radiance. He really, really does.
You can see the reasoning for it versus like Pugna and whatnot, but see if he's able to get it. As BetBoom, Invis unnoticed.
I mean, Lal as well, they're starting to bring this bottom wave back round, and with the Aegis on the Leshrac, highly likely they can look to push for a tier 2.
Oh, and look at this beautiful Pugna. Oh, yeah.
Lesh just constantly going to be at full power and always having mana to play with.
By the way, in the meantime, keep watching K1. Or sorry, Dahak in the meantime, right? Just with these Greater Trees, sniping couriers, taking towers, while his team also pressures bottom.
And that's it done. Well, the Silver Edge here is some, what has to be close to record timing on the Prophet.
That has to be the fastest Silver Edge.
Yeah, I think he was already sort of a minute faster than the fastest on his Shadowblade timing. And indeed with the Silver Edge, there we go, already nearly 2 minutes faster than the fastest, have 87 matches. This goes to show how quickly Dahak can farm on the carry Prophet. When you see a Silver Edge come out that fast, as you mentioned earlier, that's not going to be too much fun for K1.
No. He will just get shredded. They're continuing. They still have Aegis. They have this
why not?
Massive push lineup. Blast is only level 2, but they don't need the high-level blast from a support Pugna.
And they can do this, just keep Lal sustained on the front line.
Zeneko's here too. Max Soul Rip at the ready. Arcane Boots too. And the Tombstone down for Vision.
Let's see what Beast Coast can do. Can they do anything to stop this?
They can't, like the Pugna Ward and Tombstone down, you can't.
Who goes in?
How do you hit it?
They're going to try.
Let's see.
They're going to try and get in onto the ledge. They'll put the horn as well. They'll get it pretty deep here towards the tier 4s. Good movement. See if they can do it a second time now. BetBoom, the rest of the team will focus on taking the objectives. Lal gets raw, but if Decrep comes out, gives him some safety. He'll get the edict off. The stun's there as well. Force Major falls, but they're getting very low here on K1. They're trying to focus down Lal. K1 just gets dragged back in, hit by the break from Dahak. As that's K1 down, BetBoom, they've got the space to continue to push down these racks, and 18 minutes in, they'll be taking the melee racks away from Beast Coast.
Is that the fastest racks also of the tournament, or of the patch, baby? Jesus, just setting pace. BetBoom, no mercy. And you can tell they understand how powerful their draft is versus that Spectre. With the break, with the amount of burst damage they have too.
Destroyed.
That was one hit with the break and then a soul rip, and he just explodes. Taneko now with a mech too, so continuing to keep this pressure ramped up. 9K gold lead already.
They can absolutely get ready to go for another push, maybe another high ground siege. They don't have the Aegis. I mean, it was a good start from Beast Coast, being able to position Lala as deep as he was with the toss back.
Hawk will scout BetBoom. K1 can't even farm his own Ancients.
They have to be so careful. If Notice is able to get a rift on anybody, they're absolutely going to go down.
Oh, and they're getting no farm. Their whole map is just being taken away. When BetBoom does this invasive play onto the triangle, now it's like, look at the way Beast Coast is playing. They're like, well, where do we go now? Because they don't want to take a head-on fight unless it's some toss back into the base in particular.
Another smoke here from BetBoom.
And they're hunting.
They're ready to go again. They see Chris pushing at the mid.
Smoke breaks onto Laurel.
This is a little scary for Beast Coast. I'll try and back off it. Good shot.
Nice
It's going to save. Well, no, it's not. Never mind. There's a CK around the corner waiting for him. Notice.
Oh my God,
the other way around. That's going to be Stinger going down. They'll take the outpost back under their control, but only momentarily as Gojira will attempt to run. But there's the crit. 824 damage coming out from the CK with the DD.
Good God. It continues to be incredible reads, really, from BetBoom and just playing the map perfectly, right? They swing to Ancients, deny the farm from Beast Coast. Beast Coast is like, oh, we have a small opportunity to perhaps farm our jungle. Instant smoke from BetBoom, run across to just clear out the jungle instantly. Yeah, just restricting the map, restricting any farm for K1, really. As the Hawk goes anywhere he wants. Look at him, he's farming some Ancients. It is blocked, but he has so many different places that he can farm. And now he almost has BKB too, so double BKB gonna be ready. Laurel on his way toward his Bloodstone. And oh, a nice pickup. Illusion Rune inside the CK's bottle.
Another tier 2 taken. When BetBoom. Let's see how much pressure they want to put on. They could wait for the next Roche if they want to take it safe. With the lead that they have, they still can get away with chilling out for a bit longer. It's going to be a long, long time for K1 to get to that next pickup after the Mantra. He's only 1,300 gold towards the Radiance right now.
They are constantly hunting. And yeah, we watched Stinger just get smacked in an interesting pickup there, Whisper. He's gone for the Ags.
All right, I mean...
So I think it's just because they're playing versus this huge push. They need something to be able to, clear either the CK illusions.
It's the high ground defense, yeah.
He needs something. Anything that they can spam out to. With the toss back, couple sets of axes, maybe it could add up.
They've got to have the wave clear. They've got to be able to keep the game going and try and hold back BetBoom the best they can from approaching a second lane of barracks.
I'm going to quickly bring up, at least for myself, the win probability, because I feel like it's starting to feel pretty hard for Beast Coast, but all right, I won't say what it is. I'm not going to spoil it. So immediately, TP bottom, as soon as there is any room for Hector to get some farm. They swing across to limit that.
Yeah, I mean, K1, Hector, the spaces that he's had to sort of head into to get the CS, it's been very, very tough to find. It's almost impressive he has the last hits that he does, considering the pressure that BetBoom are continuously putting in and staying on Beast Coast half of the map.
They never have to go back, this lineup, right? With the Pugna, with this Furion that can just TP back and forth. Like, everyone's just full HP. And then the itemization that they've gone for too, Mech on Taneko with Arcane Boots. They're always just full HP, fully sustained to be able to keep pressure. Now they're even buying Gem, so now they're just going to limit any vision that Beast Coast even has to look for any of these fights if BetBoom is split up.
Now for Beast Coast, Chris has got his BKB,
okay.
So he'll stand a bit of a better chance being able to jump in and commit without the concern of just melting to the damage output of heroes like Lal and of course, Force Major.
He is still mostly just a toss back into an avalanche in most of these situations. And we do see Notice now has a Blink Dagger on the CK, so an increased way to catch now for the side of BetBoom. And Gojira, look at him. Schofield is incredibly far, but he should be okay.
They just need to work on that final tier 2 top BetBoom to be able to push towards the opportunity of taking away the remaining barracks, the high ground defenses that Beast Coast have.
They seem pretty relaxed, to be honest, right? Just taking Ancients again, limiting the farm. Don't let Beast Coast outside of the base unless they run as 4, which, if you look at Beast Coast, that's kind of been the story for the last 6 minutes or so.
There we go.
Make the jump.
Set up. Should be an easy kill to start things off. Taneko taken down. Beast Coast seizing the opportunity to make that play here with the Hawk Vision.
Very nice. he did not have the gem, though. I think he passed it off to the CK just before this. That would have been a big pickoff. If they get gem, then they can start clearing wards and look for those split pickoffs. But yeah, they did give it to CK. And speaking of CK, DD unnoticed.
C-Smile almost has to be careful about how he shows around the mid. They'll smoke up behind him,
It's
but
spotted, though.
it did indeed. That vision definitely caught Chris going into the smoke.
And now they're looking to maybe bet. They're going to bait, noticed.
Trying to prime him here for a jump. We'll get the toss back. See if they can burst through this ledge track. They're going to fully focus him down. The Soulbind as well connected the two. He's going to go get taken out. Lar will fall. C-Smile turns over now towards Force Major. Dahaki's going to BKB TP out. He doesn't want any part of this fight because Beast Coast, they're the ones getting the kills. 2 for Whisper.
That was a really heads-up toss play, but a very strange play from Laurel. I guess with the Bloodstone, he thought that he'd be able to tank through all the damage, but they knew they were there.
They did.
They were pinging it constantly, and they still get caught by it.
We already had, of course, noticed he was backing off, but indeed, Lal maybe thinking that it would take a bit more to burst through him than it did. East Coast taking him down incredibly quickly when he separated from the rest of his team.
Like he gets the Bloodstone up, but he's not the hero with BKB. He's able to just get focused from K1 and from everything from Beast Coast.
Big kills here for Beast Coast.
And now they're into the pit themselves.
This is big stuff. It's been a tough start to the game. Tough first 25 minutes here for Beast Coast. And they're finding ways to punch into BetBoom, get these pickups. Aegis on K1.
I actually cannot believe that sequence just happened. That is absolutely massive for them.
We've got the K1 as well.
He almost has a Scotty now on the Spectre. So versus these range cores, versus the healing and sustain, starting to find himself something. Dahak, though. Ooh.
That's the point now where he can't quite finish off K1 on his own. With 4 minutes and a half to play with this Aegis. I mean, for BetBoom, we've seen already very much they were trying to go for this sort of timing where they were taking these early towers. It looked like they wanted to go for an early finish, an early win. It's getting slowed down now. Now that there's this Aegis for 4 minutes on K1, what are you doing now if you're BetBoom? Do you still have to keep your foot on the pedal?
I think you still do. Yeah, I think you should still look to be pressuring. Especially when Haunt is on cooldown. That's probably one of the bigger things you have to worry about. I think you still look to even perhaps go for sieging racks when you're playing with this type of lineup. They still have a huge advantage in any type of fight. As long as they don't just get picked off and lose their most important hero right at the start. They'll take out tier 2, but still playing in the area.
That's going to be a solid defense as well from Beast Coast. I mean, as we said already, Whisper having the axe, those 0 cooldown axes.
Oh, and speaking of another interesting one, Dahak, this is a different pickup. It's gone for an Ags on the Prophet this time around.
Yeah, we're seeing sort of a variety of builds from him when he plays the carry Prophet.
It is a really strong one. We don't see it too often because we see it play as carry most of the time, but the root is really powerful, especially versus something like Tusk. Tusk is just trying to go in and get a snowball off. You get rooted, you can't move. The damage is ridiculous too, and of course that cooldown drops down, so frequency of it is constant for the pressure that BetBoom's been playing with.
I do have that Wraith Pack done as well from Force Major, so
okay.
The team fight together will still be very strong for BetBoom, as we see that the few times the Beast Coast have managed to take the kills against them, it's been all off the back of these toss plays from Chris pretty much. It's all about him getting in, ripping someone away from the rest of their teammates. That's what they have to look towards. If they don't get that toss back, they're probably not taking any sort of chance of winning a team fight.
And they're actually just playing it still the economy game. Sitting in the triangle with 4, leaving Dahak to just do whatever he wants, farm around the map. And if Beast Coast walks in, then they have to fight a 5v5 every single time, and fighting into high ground is still a bit of a problem.
Still 7-0-6, Dahak yet to go down this game. And of course, as we've seen from his playstyle, he's happy to build to carry at any stage of the match, even if it gets later on. He's got many ways to play the game as a Nature's Prophet.
Continue to keep every single lane pushed out. Him and the CK noticed with his Phantasm. BetBoom is still, they're not, I wouldn't say really shaken up, but this was their time to get the Aegis and end the game. So right now they're still getting ahead by quite a significant amount, but can definitely see Beast Coast trickling back into this one. Still hard though. Another itemization there from BetBoom, just continuing to go for everything that's about grouping up. Greaves now finished on Seneko.
Yeah, K1, he's got the money for his Scud. He's going to try and get that last ultimate orb back safely through the courier, but this...
It's hard versus the Hawk as well, too. We've seen like these treants, like a random greater treant comes out and just kills a courier.
It's not the easiest for K1 to pick up his items with the courier. He's going to try for it, but that creep wave did see it.
Oh,
okay. Oh, it's going to go down. That is the Scud he put on hold. That hurts. 2.5 minutes, no Scardy on K1. They need everything they can get in this sort of match, Beast Coast, whilst they're behind, and that's going to be a bit of a slowdown on K1's progression.
Bit of a waste of the tombstone, though. 40 seconds. You see Beast Coast, as soon as they see that, they're like, okay, maybe potentially go fight since it is down. K1 can always join. Can they get a wraparound, though?
That's going to hit them with a scan, BetBoom.
They're so prepared.
And they know exactly what point Beast Coast are trying to approach them from.
They're even just going to TP back, meet the Hawk.
And maybe see if they can try and find a fight out of this. And they'll smoke themselves for the tier 2. They know that Beast Coast was trying to look for something themselves, and BetBoom, they're happy to get involved. Here's the jump. Notice, straight in with the stun to open things up, see if they can keep this tiny lock down. It'll be the snowball, buying some time here for Chris, so they take him off the side. He'll get the BKB up, but the physical damage, too much for this tiny to resist as he falls. Bajira here with the shard, trying to block them up, but Dahak simply TP's over, gives them the vision, the Rift drags him back in. BetBoom, they'll get the 2 kills as they were prepared. They knew what Beast Coast wanted to do, and as I say, they turn up and more than happy in these sort of team fight situations to get these kills, and very, very quick initiation there for Notice, leaving Chris no chance to get his BKB off before taking huge amounts of damage whilst he was stunned from that CK opener.
I was watching to see if the Brute would catch the Tusk as well, too, because that's probably one of the reasons, like I was mentioning, why Dahak did go for that. If you get Brute as the Tusk, you can never snowball save in those situations, too. As 16K, continue to build that lead up.
Time to push it.
Arcane Rune on Laurel, too.
We've got a full Orchid as well on Notice, so extra lockdown, extra damage amp here.
There's the Tombstone.
Let's see what Beast Coast could do. They really don't want to use these buybacks. They want to try and defend here as the 4 of them.
They can't without the Tiny, though. They've got the spam to at least try to slow it down.
He's going in. And he's going to get roared. This is pretty deep here from the CK. He jumps in for this kill attempt. He's getting low. He's going to get taken out. Now they'll turn over towards Lyle. He's going to get caught by the X-Well stun. The rest of BetBoom focusing down the objectives. Let's see if they can still stick around. There's going to be a snowball from Gajira ready to set it in towards the side, clear out these creep waves. BetBoom, they'll get the tier 3, but they will have to back off there. As, I mean, no, he went in. He did not need to get tossed back or anything. He was like, oh, you haven't got a Tiny? Well, I'll misposition myself for you. As he blinks in up towards the tier 4s, he's gone, and that's the push put to an end.
How long was his BKB on cooldown? He had like 8 seconds left on the CK. It was just a bit too aggressive from Notice.
They went straight for it.
This fast roar, though. Whisper, quick fingers.
And you've got to be careful going deep, especially when there's a Spectre ready to punch into you with the Desolate. He gets taken down, no trouble at all. As I said, BetBoom at the least out, around sort of him diving in, making space, as he would tell them. They were able to get the tier 3, but it's still not quite the second set of racks that they'd hoped for. And whilst the lead's still big with 15K, it's not really growing. It's staying around this area.
They did get the gem, I believe, Beast Coast. They were able to grab that one from Notice, so maybe able to get some type of D-ward, some vision, and a little bit of breathing room now on the map. Only for a second, though, because BetBoom, Notice is back up, and killing is back on the menu.
Radiant are scanning.
See what they can go for. I mean, it's getting close, of course, to that potential Roshan respawn time.
DD spawns bottom. Beast Coast, a bit fortunate for them there. A lot of DDs. I think that's like the 6th or 7th one I've already seen. Yeah, about that next Roche fight.
Yeah, they're sort of checking it out, but still a bit of time until we will see it. And that's only if it's a shorter respawn. So BetBoom, they've got to hold back and look elsewhere for action.
Anything else they've got? They Whisper, he got his BKB before. I think he fully purchased it. Almost a Wraith Pact on the Beastmaster.
Full Satanic for Dahak.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, big one as well for Gojira is going to be this Blink Dagger. He's now going to have a much more reliable ability to save these heroes to get caught by the Blink stuns of BetBoom.
Can always be the follow-up with Chris Luck, too. Or C-Smile, sorry.
And I feel like the real problem that BetBoom's going to have, if Gajira's able to get his next up, he gets that Aghanims. Suddenly people are going to get tossed and kicked back towards the fountain, and these pushes are going to be very, very scary for BetBoom.
That's going to be a way. If they get to that point in the game, that's when Beast Coast just kind of wins, I feel like. But I don't think BetBoom is going to let them drag the game on to that extent.
It feels like things have slowed down from BetBoom.
They have.
We saw them it's a full power really in the first 15 minutes of play, but this second half that we've seen, Beast Coast have been able to hold them back, make sure that they haven't lost a second set of racks despite BetBoom's early lead.
It was pretty much the best opportunity that Beast Coast had when they got the kill onto the Lesh that Roche spawned, because BetBoom, if they had Roche themselves, that is very likely just the end of the game. Continue to play inside this triangle area. Both, yeah, I mean, they've just, I feel like if you show a heat map, it's just like all of BetBoom around the triangle of Beast Coast except for Dahak. Dahak is just playing inside of his triangle around Angel.
Look at this from Beast Coast. They're going to come out with a smoke. They know that BetBoom is trying to stay around this triangle area to make the moves.
They know they're here, though. They saw the axes, and now they'll see the tiny. Getting vision around the pit, though. They know the next big fight is all about that Roshan.
Yeah. The next stages could give BetBoom the power to push up and take another set of racks, maybe even more. And likewise for Beast Coast, it could mean that they have that extra ability to hold the defense and have that hero that they can put at the front. Maybe bait BetBoom into making dives like they did the last time round off the back of a push.
K1 is getting quite far.
Yeah, he is.
Body's done.
He's catching up.
Is done afterwards, too. He's going to be able to commit into backline pretty easily.
Go
for the Pug.
He's in. He's going to start to poke some reactions out from them, and it will get the Pugna ward and the Tombstone drop down.
Whisper, though.
To the side. Whisper's going to get jumped, but he gets the BKB and the roar off in time. Holds back the CKC Smile. He's in with a wraparound from the back. The BKB is coming out now for the rest of BetBoom's cause. Dahak pops his, but they're poking things out of them quite nicely here, Beast Coast. A lot of reactions forced out of BetBoom. But Beast Coast, they're fine, and they're ready to get back in. C-Smile jumps in with a combo. They turn over towards Taneko, and Dahak, he's trapped and surrounded. Have they got detection? A sentry's going to get thrown down. Dahak's going to try and sneak out to the side, but they see him. They take him out.
Oh my God, Beast Coast.
As well. That was beautiful.
And the Roche.
They're going to be able to spend the bit. They're going to get it.
Oh my God.
They are crumbling, BetBoom. And that whole sequence from Beast Coast, they just forced everything perfect. That was a fantastic start from Gajira, getting the Tombstone, the Nether Ward down, and sort of C-Smile coming in. They have to BKB, but BetBoom, they can't do anything during their BKBs. Beast Coast kite them to perfection.
That was some of the most impressive team fighting I've seen at this tournament.
Absolutely.
Just the itemization, too. You're now starting to see the fruition of everything. The Aghanims on Whisper.
Look at this again.
Being able to Ag spam. And that was the initial, the Shadow Step, the Ag Spectre to force all these spells from the side of BetBoom. And then they're panicking. It's full panic, really, from BetBoom. Wow.
They're starting to get a little shaky here, BetBoom. Beast Coast, they were taking it easy in the early game. They were chilling out, and now they're ready to play. And BetBoom, they've got to, are they going to be able to regain control of this game? I don't know. They're losing that lead massively, and they're losing that lead against a Spectre.
I didn't say that win probability earlier. Just to let you know, it was 90% for BetBoom. I'm going to bring it up now.
At that, yeah.
Look at this.
It's back to 50-50, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that shoot up even more in favor of Beast Coast, because as I say, to sort of lose the control and the lead that you had as BetBoom in this sort of a game, it's going to feel pretty rough for them.
Absolutely. And now you were talking also about Aghanims on Tusk. I mean, he's halfway there.
He's halfway there.
Dahak. BetBoom's starting to really feel this pressure.
Yeah, they are. They really, really are. We'll see what this sort of, how this sort of causes them to maybe change how they were looking towards the next step of the game for them, because the longest of times, the closest they got to taking a second set of racks was that situation where a little bit of a dive came out from Notice and they only got a tier 3 tower. They needed more. They're going to smoke up, but they're going to reveal themselves on an illusion. So unlikely to catch Beast Coast by surprise with this move. Beast Coast are going to be perfectly fine.
Beast Coast has good lane pressure, and the time that they've been able to buy, everything's back up. They've got plenty of items now picked up also from the neutrals. Big one, a Spell Prism. And how do you kill Hector now? Twice, potentially 3 times, because they could even pass him the cheese as well. So do they even have the damage to bring down the Spectre anymore?
It really does feel like a game where, one more rough fight from BetBoom, and I don't know if they're ever taking back control of the game.
No, they're starting to feel
it's going to be in the bag for them.
They're starting to feel quite behind for sure, even though they have 3K lead.
Yeah, it was once sort of like 15K, 16K. It just went in an instant. As Beast Coast, as I said, some of the most refined play and heads-up moves there in the team fights that we've had from them. See, Smile, he's going to be fine with that. Sure, it's to BKB, but he'll have that Arcane Room ready for the next move. And space is created here. Beast Coast, they can keep the push going on bottom. It's going to be their turn to look for some more tier 2s.
Big pickup too. They'll find a timeless relic for themselves, perhaps for Whisper. And he's gonna potentially have 3 roars on this Beastmaster. So these BKBs fully addressed. BetBoom having to respond and constantly getting scouted.
I was going to say, yeah, Beast Coast,
they're thinking about it.
All the time, they know exactly how many of BetBoom are turning up in these situations. They've just got a complete read on them.
And look at top, immediately try to set up for a kill. They see the tree and spawned up there looking for Dahak potentially. He'll quickly TP back though.
Radiant are scanning.
Still such a close game. Yeah, BetBoom really trying to avoid a fight until that Aegis ticks out.
I see Smile incredibly rich as well, 5k gold in the bank. He's going to start getting his next item done. I mean,
he will hurt. He will definitely hurt. He's got the Beastmaster aura at all times too in most of these fights.
Yeah, he'll hurt, and also, you know, when they get close to the base, like the buildings are going to go down in seconds to sort of this tiny Beastmaster combo, synergizing and just tearing through with that incredible attack speed.
Didn't really point out earlier too that he did get a bit lucky finding spider legs. He is playing versus the Nature's Prophet, so has treads, but he has spider legs, so he can just zoom out of that sprout.
To the side, lol.
Gojira?
He's gonna find Gojira. We'll see if Beast Coast want to do anything to help him out. Snowball to the side. They'll try and get him out there with a nice forced attempt from Stinger.
That was the gem that they got from earlier. BetBoom, I think they already have one, so they'll probably return that one to base. 20 seconds until Aegis gets reclaimed.
Of course, in terms of farm, Dahak is still miles away at the top, ahead of anybody else by quite some bit.
You can never count out the Dahak Nature's Prophet.
No,
they do have good tools to deal with the split push, of course, with the Spectre going for that Aghanims, but it's still something you always have to watch out for in K1. Now he has a better item. He's got the 2 Dream items versus the Nature's Prophet.
Yes.
Scotty and the Abyssal.
It's going to be, I mean, with the Spectre in place, surely it's almost impossible to look for any sort of wrap play. Like, in what scenario are we going to see Dahak get that opportunity to go for those sort of moves?
The way that they did it the other day, right? You pick a huge fight, and while the fight's happening, he's just not there. He's just going for the full wrap play.
So
That's how they won the other day.
So you can only do it around sort of a distraction move.
Probably, yeah. A bit too difficult, especially versus that Ags. So you'll always have at least one form of way to jump on top of you on K1.
Well, deciding here between the Eon and the Hex.
I love how you see the CK is the highest healing done in the game.
Of course, damage done, been very impressive from K1. He had a tough start, a tough lane, but at this point, he is absolutely where he'd hoped to be as a Spectre in the game. Very, very farmed. Opting to go for the BKB next to make sure that you can have a better job of just getting stuck in on the fight. And of course, once that BKB is there, very little that BetBoom can do to take down this very, very beefy Spectre.
They're going to have to address him last. It's either address him last or address him where he's split up and they catch him with the Silver Edge and just burst him in one shot, but that's very unlikely.
Now, smoke time from BetBoom. Let's see if they can find anything. Beast Coast at the moment inside of the base.
I'm surprised that Chris Luck is, or C-Smile's still holding the cheese. I thought he would really pass down over to Hector when he had a slot open, but he is the one jumping. He is the one putting himself in a bit of a riskier position, but on the high ground.
BetBoom, they're going to try and get the jump onto the Beastmaster. Straight away, noticed, he's in with the initiation. Gojira not able to pick it up in the snowball in time.
That's a massive kill.
So that's going to be the 2 of them gone. Gojira gets dragged back as well. Notice takes the both of them out. And with 2 heroes dead for a long time here, about a minute.
Ooh. They give K1 the tome. He's now 25 on the Spectre.
We might have to see Beast Coast consider some buybacks here. As BetBoom, they're going to be coming in hard with the push down the mid lane.
Eyes on the toss back. They see him though. They know where Chris Luck is.
They're going to try to jump in, but the Link's there in time. Chris able to dodge it. They'll still get caught in the Sprout. He'll heal up, put the BKB. Soulbind as well, linking the 2 of them. The buybacks, they've come out here from Beast Coast. So they're ready to hold. They turn, they take down Notice. Gojira getting low, but he'll buy time as he heads to the snowball. They'll kite out the BKBs here from BetBoom. The Raw,
he's
holding back to Hack. Steesmile jumps over the side. He's got the burst combo to bring Force Major down low. Takes out the Pugner. Silas onto Dahak. Dahak trying to stand his ground with the lifesteal, but he's caught by the stun. Is a dieback from Gojira. BetBoom, they did use buybacks themselves. They're actually going to commit indeed on the two of them to try and get back over here. They're back into the base. Lyle
Chris
trying to jump Chris. They'll get the drag back. Notice is in on top of him. Is there anything to save Chris? He's out with the invis. They see him for the moment. He's out to the side. The AoE. Ooh, he's going to take out to the Orchid Burn. He's gone.
Oh, he blinked forward just to stop the TP of the nature.
And he did buy back for that. They've got to try and defend 3 versus 5 here, Beast Coast. They're not going to be able to hold their mid-racks. BetBoom, they'll take them down.
Oh, what a big mistake there from Chris. Oh, no.
See what Beast Coast can do here with the 3 of them.
In such clutch moments, they need every single life, and he dies literally just to cancel a TP of her Nature's Prophet, who just didn't even really have to TP back anyway. Now, K1.
Notice. BKB, drag back K1. K1, they've got to get this
broken
out of there. He's getting very, very low raw. They'll try and push him to the side, but he goes down. He'll buy back, but BetBoom, they've got the job done here regarding the barracks. Mega creeps are up.
80 seconds without Chris. K1, he can't go in this alone. We see what happens. He just gets broken and focus fired completely.
BetBoom, they're ready to stick around and push for more, of course. The Diabolic Edict, they shred through the buildings. The final tier 4 falling. Beast Coast, can they do anything with just the 3 of them? The Ancient exposed. BetBoom looking to close up this game. Beast Coast, they can't stop this. GG is called. BetBoom, they'll take the win here in this game 1. It was quite the adventure, quite the ride.